Welcome to another edition of Halftime on the Hudson. My name is Jimmy Tsiantoulas, and I am here with my casually underdressed good friend here, Sam McNamara. Sam, where's the suit, buddy? You got to explain yourself. Where's the suit at?
Some of us left their suit at home.
That is quite unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
We give that a doom round here. All right, but I digress. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Halftime on the Hudson. I'm excited to be here. This is my first time back on camera since our mock draft back in the spring. And today we're going to be talking about some NFL finds, some, potential trade destinations, stuff along that. And then we're going to close this segment out with some MLB playoff talk. But let me get things started right now. Sam, I know you wanted to talk about trade destinations. I know you wanted to talk about Davante Adams possibly being traded. Let's hear it.
So Davante Adams, he is pretty much a Jet. He said that his two destinations were the New York Jets, I don't know why, and the New Orleans Saints. Don't know why Saints either, but makes more sense. It makes a lot of sense for him, though. His two former quarterbacks, he wants to go back to them. It seems like he was really angry at the Raiders, especially last year when they got rid of Derek Carr. That was the whole reason he went there and the whole reason that he signed that massive extension. And the Jets could really use him. Garrett Wilson, as much as you Jets fans love him, Garrett Wilson has not done the job right now. I think Garrett Wilson's very good.
Hey, look, I agree with you. I think Garrett Wilson is still a very good receiver in this league. I still think that he has top 10, top 12 potential right now. The Jets they're in a weird space right now where it feels like that they should be a lot better than they actually are. Losing to a Broncos team where Bo Nix only throws 60 yards is just an ugly look. Granted, Broncos defense, fantastic. They're still a top 5 unit. I thought that they weren't going to be as good as they were, but that entire unit as a whole has been flying around the field without Justin Simmons and other key factors. They just lost Alex Singleton for the season as well, leading tackler last season. So, they're still a very stalwart front. But yeah, the Jets really do need another guy to kind of balance out Garrett Wilson because, again, it is Aaron Rodgers and friends with a lot of his former Packer friends. So bringing in Davante Adams would be funny. It would be a full circle moment. But I do believe that Garrett Wilson, as of right now, needs that number 2 guy to help balance him out.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Allen Lazard, he may be a great guy, maybe the nicest person in the world. But if Allen Lazard is your wide receiver 2 in 2024,
you're doing something wrong.
This is an issue. It's a huge issue.
You're doing something wrong.
Nathaniel Hackett, look at him. He's the offense coordinator of the Jets. It's what Aaron Rodgers wants, Aaron Rodgers gets. You damn well know Aaron Rodgers wants himself some Davante Adams.
Yeah.
It's all but certain. Hassan Reddick seems to also be in the deal.
Yeah, so
rumored.
There is possibility of that because the Raiders do want a second-round pick and extra compensation. So there have been potential rumors linked to them dumping Hassan Reddick and a second-round pick to be able to pick up Davante. And honestly, I know we talked about this beforehand. You think that this is an absolute fleece for the Raiders. Can you explain why?
Because Hassan Reddick, when he has played, has been a top 20, top 15 edge rusher in the NFL. And he's going to be fantastic for the Raiders who, yes, Tyree Wilson, you did draft him with the 7th overall pick in 2023. But also, Tyree Wilson has not produced as well as you thought. Max Crosby, he's a great player. This season, there's no plays where I'm like, oh, yeah, Max Crosby's the best defender in the league. They need someone else on that side. And a second-round pick, too. Davante Adams or Hassan Reddick straight up wouldn't even be the worst trade in the world. But adding a second, the Raiders would absolutely fleece them. And I also love Hassan Reddick. I think he's a fantastic player too.
Yeah. No, I think that the Jets are doing him a disservice and not giving him his money because, I think he elevates that already stellar defense.
Which is the most Jets thing ever. A guy that gets traded already wants out.
100%. He hasn't even suit up for the Jets yet, and he's like, I want out of here. But let's move things on I know Devontae was potentially linked to the Chiefs, but the Raiders said we don't want to trade in the division. But there's another wide receiver who's currently in the market or potentially in the market who is linked to the Chiefs, that being Amari Cooper. You got anything to say on that?
It's a great deal for the Chiefs and a great deal for Amari Cooper. I think it's the most beneficial trade for Amari and the Chiefs. If that happens, the Browns, I don't know. The Browns managed to mess everything up. But if you can get a second round or a third round pick for Amari Cooper, who, keep in mind, you got for a 5th and a 6th round pick. If you can turn him and trade him to the Chiefs for a second or third round pick, it's great. Even though that pick is not going to be that high in the draft, because it is, the Chiefs be fantastic for both parties. But one thing I did want to say, I could see Amari going to the Bills too.
Really? Why is that? Why is that?
Josh Allen, I think if you give him a vet, like that could take them over the edge. But at the same time, Josh Allen had Stephon Diggs for a number of years, and you saw how that happened.
Now, I'm not discrediting you at all. I think that giving Josh Allen another vet could potentially elevate him already, but he's already playing in an MVP caliber season with guys like Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman. I think that if you bring in a vet like Amari Cooper, don't get me wrong, Amari's one of those guys who isn't going to demand the ball. He's going to be kind of like one of those silent assassin types. He's never been one to be super outspoken. But I just feel like it's going to be a bad fit in Buffalo if they do bring in a guy like him, just because of the chemistry that this team has already built up on the offensive front. Sure, they're seeing Stephon Diggs, in Houston now. It kind of shows that maybe Stephon may not have been the actual problem. Like maybe he wasn't as much of a diva as the media has presented him to be. Maybe that was to kind of save Josh Allen's hide a little bit. But again, I digress. I feel like that right now the Bills are at a good spot with their receivers, albeit maybe they're not as talented as having like a true number one guy. But I think that where they are, I think it's the best case scenario for them.
That you do bring up a very good point there. But the reason I say Amari to the Bills, maybe it's because I don't want to see him on the Chiefs.
Fair.
But I just also think Amari, you're just adding another playmaker to that team. Mm-hmm. That, in my opinion, still kind of needs it. Keon Coleman's still developing. Khalil Shakir, what is he? To be honest, no one knows exactly.
Khalil Shakir to me,
great
middle of the ground receiver. I think he's a high 2 to low 2 type of guy. Like he's not a 1, but he's certainly a high 2 to me. So I feel like that's a good spot for him right now, just because of how much Josh Allen elevates the guys around him.
That is true. And this Bills team just popped in my head. Could very well be that Chiefs team that beat the Eagles, where there's no star receiver. Yes, Travis Kelce, but no star receiver. It's just a bunch of guys doing their job and doing it well for the star quarterback.
Yeah. Now, as much as I want to talk about this, there is one more NFL thing that I do want to touch on before we move on to the MLB playoffs. Fines. There have been so many fines going on in the NFL right now. We just saw a handful just get doled out. Josh Jacobs just got fined $45,000 for lowering his head multiple times. Derwin James just got fined like $18,000 and got suspended for a game for lowering his head. We've seen guys like Drake London. We've seen guys, I believe Keon Coleman, if I'm not mistaken, they've been doing the whole like gun celebration and they're getting flagged with fines. I don't understand if it's just, they're just extra celebratory this season, but there's been so much money that has just been taken away from these players.
Yeah, I mean, the celebration, the gun celebration, that I do understand getting fined for.
Yeah.
Not saying I completely agree with it, but the NFL has fined people for that in the past. The NBA has also fined people for that in the past. You saw week 1 LSU USC, Kyron Lacey got not fined because you can't fine a college player, but he was
reprimanded. He was reprimanded.
Yeah. But the Derwin James one is the most confusing one because Pat Freiermuth, who the hit was against, came out and said that he doesn't think it should be a penalty and he wasn't doing what the NFL said he did. Lowering your head as a running back too. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right?
What are you supposed to do?
He's literally picking up extra yards and he's just trying to get smaller to be able to get upfield. I'm all for player safety. I understand that we have a rampant issue with CTE, just head injuries in general. But Josh Jacobs isn't doing it with malicious intent. He's legitimately just trying to fight for extra yards and being fined $45,000 because he already had, I believe it was 2 previous fines. So that's why they gave him that hefty of a total. But again, it's like you're fighting for extra yards to try and help your team win. I just don't understand what the thought process is for the NFL here.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the no fun league.
Yeah.
Everyone says.
Yeah.
I mean, lowering your head, that's a part of the game, and it's been a part of football for years, especially for running backs.
100%.
And to find someone for that, a little ridiculous. Granted, Josh Jacobs is not worried about the fine. That man has enough money.
Fair.
But still a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Derwin James, also.
He's like one of the highest paid safeties in the league. So
yeah.
I mean, he has money. He has money as well. But him getting suspended, it's just like I don't agree with it.
I don't understand that either. And I also think there were a number of other hits that Derwin James has made that have been a lot worse that he didn't get suspended for.
Yeah.
So you gotta have consistency, which the NFL we know
now
will never have.
Let's move things over to our final topic of discussion today, the MLB playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're very, very excited to be talking about this. We just saw a couple of elite games just get wrapped up, so let's have you dive into that.
First off, the Baltimore Orioles. You're gone. The Houston Astros. Let's think about this. You're gone. The Yankees have the easiest path to the World Series that I have seen in the Aaron Judge era. Aaron Boone, if you screw this, I will show up and you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to cancel on air. I'm not going to cancel on air. But we have the easiest shot at making the World Series this year. Who
is this we speak of? You're not a part of this team.
The New York Yankees.
You're not a part of this team. You may be a fan. You're not a part of this team.
I am in spirit. They wish they had me as manager.
Yeah. All right, but let's stop focusing on the Yankees. The Yankees haven't played yet. Sure, you may say that they have an easy schedule right now or an easy path to the World Series, which I still think they're going to find a way to choke, but that's besides the point. You know what I want to focus on here? 3 AL Central teams in the ALDS.
Oh my God.
Who on earth would have thought that was going to be possible just because of how bottom feeder-esque this division is?
I mean, last year the AL Central was probably the worst division in baseball. Shout out to the Kansas City Royals. 55 wins last year, contending with the A's as the worst team in the MLB. And now they're in the ALDS playing against my New York Yankees. And the Tigers, too. I mean, they had a 0.2% chance of going to the playoffs in August. And because of a freak named Tariq Skubal and a great lineup, they are in the ALDS as well. Also, we haven't touched on the NL. The Mets are currently in a game against the Brewers.
If I'm not mistaken, they are, in fact, winning. As of right now, let me just pull up this score right here. They are up 3-2. It's the middle of the 7th inning right now, going into the bottom. Yeah.
Wow, if the Mets make it, that.
Yeah.
I mean,
we do in the production truck. We do have some Mets fans here. You know, I myself find. I'm an honorary Mets fan because of a good friend of mine, Zach Musso, who our viewers may love. We have Derek booing him, but we don't take him seriously around here. But yeah, I am an honorary Mets fan. I have been for a few seasons now. So it is good to see this team finally, rid themselves of these demons potentially. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to jinx anything. I'm not trying to put any announcers jinx into the air, but I feel like that them getting out of the wild card will at least put these demons to rest after that, disappointing. I believe it was the 21 season. 22, excuse me. We got the fact checkers in here. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. The 22 season.
You know what? Good for the Mets, I guess. Good for the Mets. The Braves-Padres series also going on right now, game 2. I think the Braves were up before. That could have changed. Not anymore. The Braves are not up anymore. The San Diego Padres, if they get hot, I don't know who beats them. I really don't know who beats them.
Yeah. No. Now, I would love to be able to talk about this for hours, but we do have to move things on to our second segment. Prove your point. It's an exciting matchup. It's a fiery matchup. Stick around. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome
Welcome into the Red Fox Report presented by Marist Center of Sports Communications. I'm Tommy Armstrong here with Dan Allback. Let's take a look at some fall sports action.
And we start with Marist football. They're searching for their first win against Bucknell, who is 1-1 in the season. Senior Ralph Rucker, the quarterback, had a great game against Marist last time out. And look at that, a dot to Eric Weatherly. The emphatic celebration, and Bucknell gets up early 7-0. Marist looking to respond on their first drive. It's new quarterback Enzo Arjona for the Red Foxes. Throws a dot right to Will Downs. That's his first passing touchdown as a Red Fox. He's fired up. Unfortunately, in the third quarter, he had to leave with an injury, a right hand injury. See the splint going on there. Sonny Menino in for the Red Foxes. Bobbles the ball on the rollout right. A deep shot here, and he's got Mohamed Diawara. It's a season-high 125 yards, most of his collegiate career for the 6-year player. Wasn't enough for Marist, though. A dot to TJ Cadden. Rugger sees the blitz coming. The Bisons go up 2-1, and Marist winless to start the year.
Marist soccer hosted LIU after a massive win over a ranked Fordham squad. Early action game scoreless. Corner kick finds room by the net, and it's knocked in by Heisper Hool. First career goal by the freshman to start the Marist goal scoring. They'd enter 2-0 into halftime. Kyle Evans on the breakaway thinks shot, dishes to Evan Marks, sneaks one in. Another freshman first career goal gives Marist a huge 3-0 lead. But LIU wasn't throwing in the towel. 3 minutes later, Nicholas Thanhofer ripped to the top of the net for the score, and the Sharks have some life. 18 minutes remaining. Jesper Mikkelsen from outside the box sees his chance and finds the back of the net. The Sharks now in a hurry within one. LIU looking for one more late chance. Stephane GK delivers a strike here, but Jamie Lowell denies the equalizer. Massive play for Marist as they hold on to a 3-2 victory at home.
Marist women's soccer 2-0 in the MAC on a 2-game win streak. The Mount St. Mary's 0-2 in the MAC. 27th minute here, though. Poughkeepsie High School alum Sidoni Clark with the left foot gets the first goal for the Mount. Ice in her veins as they go up early. But into the second half, 63rd minute here, junior Maya Reed has the ball on the wing in the left side of the box, and it's blocked. Gabby Torrado attempt a fake out on the goalie, but freshman Adelaide Paredes, former MAC Defender of the Week, by the way, gets her first save. 74th minute, a corner kick here from Mejia. Oh no, it's in on Marist. An own goal, and the Mount takes a 2-0 lead. And almost immediately after, Margaret Johnson trying to get something going for the Red Foxes, but blocked again by Adelaide. She gets a clean sheet, 6 saves. The Mount win their first MAC game, and Marist loses their first.
Marist volleyball travels to Niagara for their first MAC match of the season, still in search for their first win. Looking to fight back in the first set, game point Niagara. The freshman Taylor Miller sends one down on the left side to keep Marist alive. The very next play, however, Niagara looking to stop the push. They're going to set up Liana Tolliver on the left. Delivers a spike right back. Tolliver's fourth kill puts Niagara up 1-0. Now game point the second set. Marist this time. Alyssa White with some firepower behind the spike ties things up, and Marist wins their first set of MAC play. Fast forward to the third set now. 24-23 Niagara lead. Marist with the serve looking to extend the play. Tolliver on the left side this time, finding empty space, wins the third set. Niagara up 2-1, looking to finish things off. Marist tries to send one in. A wall put up by Niagara, leading to the victory, and Marist drops their first MAC match of the season.
Well, that's all we have for you today on the Red Fox Report. Alongside Tommy Armstrong, I'm Dan Allback, and we'll see you next time.
Prove your point. Prove your point. Welcome, everybody, to Prove Your Point. I'm your host, Jimmy Tsiantoulas, and today we have a fiery matchup between two heavyweight hitters. Let's get things started. On my right, your left, the man, the Boston Celtics fan, we have Luke Most.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they wanna know.
Luke, Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to have you. Good to have you.
What you say you are.
Now,
A superstar.
how we feeling today?
Feeling confident.
Yeah?
Feeling ready.
Yeah.
I know my opponent.
Yeah.
She's a great debater, great competitor. But I don't think it'll be enough.
Really?
I think I'm
Now,
better.
now you are spoiling it here, but let's bring in our second contestant on my left. The audience is right. We have Bella Dery. Oh, whoa.
Oh my God. Todo lo malo echarlo para allá. Oh my God. Dame salud y prosperidad. No tengo nada, pero soy feliz.
Whoa.
Solo
You are wrong.
recuerdos habitan en mí. Sueños que cumplir.
Bella,
Y yo voy
welcome
a
in.
vivir.
Welcome in. Now, how we feeling today? How we feeling?
I'm feeling a bit stressed out, but I know them very well. We work together.
Do you?
Allegedly.
To the extent.
Yeah. Now, if memory serves me right, and I do believe we had it on your graphic, you consider yourself the GOAT student activities manager.
I am.
Why is that?
I think the stats prove it. I'm a rookie, but
True.
I would say rookie of the year, MVP.
True. Well,
I just do my thing.
Audience, I do apologize. Luke is a little silly. He doesn't really like to turn his mic
No.
on sometimes.
I don't need it.
And yeah, no, I mean, and Bella, she knows how to turn her mic on. So Luke, I mean, you're already losing the audience's faith here.
You know, it's all calculated. It's all part of the plan.
Is it now? All right.
Part of the plan.
Now, enough chit chat. Let's cut to the debate. Our first topic of discussion with the MLB playoffs in full swing. Let's talk about World Series pick. Bella, I'm going to start with you.
okay, this is my favorite thing to talk about because I think that my Mets might actually be able to win the World Series this year. Back on May 29th, we were 11 games under 500, and then we finished 16 games over 500. The best record in baseball since that date. And a lot of it thanks to our GOAT, Francisco Lindor, should win the MVP. He's not gonna.
Not going to.
It's really good, whatever. And their pitching staff just congeals together. Their bullpen is finally working together in their offense. JD Martinez is getting hot. Mark Vientos is him. Like, oh my God, Jose Iglesias.
Oh my God.
Jose Iglesias is like was gonna retire out of the baseball this year, and he's hitting like 340 with runners in scoring position. That's crazy. And the team is just pure vibes and friendship, along with superstars like.
How far is that gonna get you though?
The World
You know,
Series.
I was gonna give you your time, but until you brought up vibes, I'm not about it. I know how much you care about the Mets, but there is no way they make it past the Philadelphia Phillies.
So wrong.
And let me tell you why, Bella. Let me tell you why. If you go top to bottom, you got Kyle Schwarber, dog. Trey Turner, dog. Bryce Harper,
That's
dog.
crazy.
You want me to continue? Because I will.
Trey Turner dog is insane.
Nick Castellanos,
thing to say.
dog. Ready for this one? Alec Boehm, dog. JT Realmuto, dog.
Bryson
Bryson
Stott
Stott, dog.
Bryson Stott is
And
not a
Brandon Marsh,
dog.
dog.
Nasty.
I rest my case on the hitting, but the pitching. Zach Wheeler, former Met,
Has a
best season. He
Mhm.
had a 2.57 ERA with over 200 strikeouts.
He also his ERA against the Mets is almost 4.
Who cares about the Mets? They're not even.
They're gonna make it to the NLDS.
Actually, they're not. Hot take. They're not.
If they win
They're
today's
gonna
game, they're
lose
in the
today
DS.
and lose in the next game, and the
Okay.
Brewers are gonna play the Phillies because the Mets are that bad.
Okay. Whoa, Luke. Okay, our friendship's over. The bullpen ERA also almost 4. The Phillies, last time the Mets played, the Mets took 3 out of 4. Edwin Diaz had 6 outs against them.
What did
And
Edwin Diaz do when they were playing the Braves, though?
Edwin Diaz
They
didn't
kept
cover,
him in for way too long,
They- he
and he
didn't-
almost cost them the
he
game.
didn't cover first base, but then he came in and closed the door against them because he's that guy.
He's not that guy. He hasn't been that guy all season. You and I both know that, Bella. We both know that.
But he has turned the page ever since his suspension. His ERA has been he's been much more consistent, especially after giving up that grand slam to Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks. Ever since then, I think he's had one blown save. And you know what's going to happen? Baseball's the most unpredictable game there is. And let me talk about how, like, a lot of times, the Phillies have done really good against the Mets this year. But the Phillies played
Against
the Mets.
every team this year.
Okay, the Phillies only had 6 more wins than the Mets did. And the Mets were 11 games under 500 in May.
Who cares about all that? This is what I care about. The Phillies have been knocking on the door for 2 years. They are hungry.
And they've been
they
choking
are ready,
every
and
time.
they're going to win. I promise you on everything, they're going to win.
Let's look at the rotation. Aaronola also said, let's suppose the Mets meet them in the DS. Aaronola's ERA against the Mets 3.5. That's pretty not that good for him.
You know why? Because they took their foot off the gas. They took their foot off the gas because they knew they were going to make the playoffs.
Color.
They've been the best team in baseball since the beginning of the season.
They actually weren't. That was the Dodgers. The Dodgers have 99 wins. The Phillies
they
only
actually
have
have
96
98 wins?
No, it's not. You're wrong. Anyways, their defense also is horrible. Bryce Harper at first base, he's fine, but
He's fine.
do you have his outs above average or something?
Bryce Harper has
I'm not talking.
4.8 WAR.
I'm talking about his defense, not his offense. His offense is incredible.
But
He's
they're
one of the best
winning
offensive
games. But
players
they're
that there
winning
is.
games.
His defense isn't good. We go to Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott's defense, not good. Shortstop, Trey Turner. Trey Turner's defense, very good. His offense this year, not been as good. His better Francisco Lindor, whatever.
That's wrong. Trey Turner has an 807 OPS. I wouldn't say that's bad.
Lindor is just so much
We're not
better.
talking about Lindor.
Okay, I'm talking about Lindor.
I'm gonna have to step in here. I do apologize. I would love to have this conversation keep going, but we got to pick things up here. Let's move things over to our second debate topic. Our live studio audience is currently casting their votes for that first debate. Now, we're gonna move things over to the NFL. The two bottom feeders of New York, but which one of them is better? Luke, let's start with you.
Let's talk about it. I have to say, I am a Patriots fan.
True.
And I think that one thing that the Patriots and the New York Football Giants can agree on is that we both hate the Jets. The Jets are the worst franchise in the NFL. They're so bad that someone that they traded for named Hassan Reddick, who, by the way, was mentioned earlier and might get traded to the Raiders, he doesn't even want to step foot and play a game in New York. I think that, first of all, before going into the stats, that says enough. But if we do want to talk about the stats, we got a guy named Malik Neighbors out of LSU, picked 6 overall. In 4 games, he has 386 yards with 3 touchdowns and 11 yards per reception. I mean, I don't think anyone on the Jets receiving room has touched 200 receiving yards on the season. So, I mean, that's what I got to say. Their record might not show it, but the Giants are a much better team than they were last year. And I got to say, if they had a kicker during that game against the Commanders, it wouldn't have even been close. The Giants would have took that game and nobody would have thought anything about it.
Okay. So, I agree with you that the Giants suck.
I didn't say the Giants suck.
Yeah, I heard you say it though. Don't worry. But we got to look at.
That's false.
Are we speaking things to an existence
That's
here?
false.
We got to look at the main player on each team, the quarterbacks. We got Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, Daniel Jones on the Giants. And now, Luke, you were with me at the Giants football game we went to. Daniel Jones sucks. He's horrible. His decision-making skills are horrible. He cannot throw a deep ball. He can't throw in tight windows. Under pressure, he literally can't do anything. He either holds the ball too long or throws it too early. And you know who else they got? They got my GOAT, Garrett Wilson, who is best friends with Brett Beatty. Also got the best
What's his
cornerback.
stats?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Fake fan.
It's under 200
ladies
yards,
and gentlemen, we have a fake fan alert over here. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
Aaron Rodgers.
And I'll stand by that.
Aaron Rodgers is old.
Aaron Rodgers is old, but you know who he is? He's consistent.
He's unk.
He has hit on status
Jimmy?
for the worst.
I mean, me and Luke both agreed that we hate the Jets, but I'm supposed to be unbiased here. So
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers also, his Achilles is intact this year.
Barely. Who at 40 years old has a intact Achilles after they tear it the year before?
Well, he got surgery to repair it, so it's intact theoretically. Daniel Jones also cannot read a defense for his life. He is he can't handle situations that are tight or nervous, like anytime there's pressure on him, he just cracks and fumbles the ball and literally just floats and dies.
But you know what Daniel Jones has that Aaron Rodgers doesn't? Mobility. He is playing under Brian Daboll, who turned Josh Allen into the man we know today. And I would say that build-wise, Josh Allen and Daniel Jones are similar. Maybe their play style, maybe their skills aren't the same, but Daniel Jones has an escape. Aaron Rodgers tries to run, his Achilles will explode. I promise you.
Now, I understand that I'm supposed to be a mediator here, but just like how I had to correct Bella here, Aaron Rodgers has been running a lot this season, and he's looked pretty good doing it. I won't lie.
Okay, and I raise you that and maybe he's been a good runner. I don't watch Jets games, but
fake NFL fan.
Fake
then.
NFL.
they
fan.
lost.
We woo.
They lost to the Denver Broncos with their starting quarterback throwing for 60 passing yards on the day.
You know what all
Yellow
60
Duda
passing yards
fans
went to? Cortland Sutton. Dog.
Cortland, yeah, you're right. Cortland
Dog.
Sutton is a dog.
Dog.
I'm not gonna lie, he is a dog.
But you know what the Jets also have? They have a better secondary than the Giants do.
Okay, well, what about that defensive line? They got Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, who, by the way, is 1.5 sacks under what his total was last season. He's at 3 sacks
That's
already on the
crazy.
season. Last year he had 4.5.
I'm
I
happy
think
for
it's
him.
sexy Dexy season, ladies.
I'm
and
happy
gentlemen.
for him.
All right. Again, I would love to listen to you guys go on and on. However, we got to keep things moving. We have one more debate topic left. The NBA starts in about 2.5 weeks, and we have 2 top dogs in the Eastern Conference. Which one of them is going to win the NBA Finals? Bella, let's start with you.
You know, I'm a New York girl. I love New York, and I don't love the Brooklyn Nets. I'm a New York Knicks fan. Gotta stay true to my orange and blue teams, minus the Islanders, whatever. So last year, I became hip to the Knicks. I found out that Jalen Brunson is incredible. Finished top 5 in MVP voting. And, you know, we traded for Mikal Bridges this offseason. We just traded for Karl Anthony Towns, who is an incredible center. We also sadly, we traded Dante DiVincenzo. We also got Josh Hart and, Josh Hart, yeah. So all Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges, all part of Villanova. Big fan. And they're all going to have such great team chemistry that they're just going to, once they get to playoffs, they're just going to carry themselves over. Also, Tom Thibodeau created a strong defensive identity with them. I don't know if I said that last name right. That's my fault.
You got it.
Oh, thanks, Luke. And yeah, they gained playoff experience last year. It's going to really help them move forward this year.
Now, Luke, before you go, we are getting live studio update here. The Mets, it is 3-3 right now.
God.
I do not mean to alarm you. We have a dying Bella in the studio here. I do apologize, but
She will start crying.
she will. And ladies and gentlemen, our loyal viewers here, Bella, diehard Mets fan, one of the biggest I've ever met. So I do apologize, but it needed to happen. We get these live studio updates from time to time. So
Like I said, my prediction is starting to look a little correct, huh?
Luke, you
Anyway.
hate me.
Anyway, let's talk about the real team that's going to win the NBA Finals, the reigning, defending Boston Celtics.
You're only
baby.
saying that because you're the legacy there.
My team. Listen, let me just get into the starting 5 really quick. Jason Tatum, 26.9 points per game. And you know what? People could say, oh, he's washed, whatever, at 26 years old. Yeah, who cares? Because we got Jaylen Brown, finals MVP, with 23 points last season. He is looking huge in practice. I mean, and then you go into our guards, Drew Holiday, Derek White, both made all defensive second teams. Derek White shot career high from 3 this past season. And then you got our center, Kristaps Porzingis, former Knick. You should know him very
Porzingis?
well.
Love that guy.
He, when healthy,
Real.
he is the
Real.
GOAT.
real,
Latvian Jesus, the unicorn,
real.
Kristaps Porzingis. But now this is the main point, because we know that those 2 starting 5s, I would say they're not even. The Celtics are definitely better,
Sure.
but I will say the Knicks starting 5 is one of the top in the NBA.
True.
But let's talk about the depth and the bench unit real quick, shall we?
Sure.
Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Hauser, Luke Cornett, and newly acquired Lonnie Walker IV. This is the deepest team in the NBA, and it is not even close, especially when you're the Knicks and you have Deuce McBride coming off the bench, and then after that, Precious Achua. I would not want that, guys. I mean, comparatively to the Boston Celtics, who are going to repeat this year.
Do you know what usually happens whenever teams like they win the NBA Finals, win the World Series, whatever? They have a hangover over them for 2 months of the season, and I fear that's going to happen to the Celtics. And then it's going to carry throughout the season. They're going to lose their momentum, and then my Knicks are going to make it and win all
Bella,
of it.
let me tell you something.
Okay, look.
Over the summer, a little thing called the Paris Olympics happened.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Jason Tatum was snubbed of playing time, and Jaylen Brown was snubbed altogether. They
Poor
have
guy.
a massive chip on their shoulder. They have
Are
something
they
to
really
prove
going to care, though?
that they are the best young duo in the NBA. They are coached by the, Joe Mazzulla, the weirdest man to ever touch the face of this earth.
I love him.
And
God,
he
I
is a
love him.
dog. He is a certified dog.
I was supposed to say Luke is a legacy of the Celtics.
Yeah,
Therefore, he is biased.
Yeah, camera 2, can I get here real quick? I forgot to mention this when we originally introed, but Luke is in fact Celtics royalty.
Yep.
Grandson of legendary Celtics broadcaster Johnny
Rep
Most.
it till I die, baby. Bleed green. You know what it is.
All right,
Not
but
even from Boston.
I want to keep hearing the Celtics, but we have to hear.
We'll
the
talk
talent
off
here.
cam, Jimmy. We'll talk off cam.
Our live studio audience has casted their votes, and my good friend Daniel Allback has given me them. Dan, it's okay. As much as I want to join camera, it's all right.
Love you, Dan.
Shout out Dan. I don't want to see that.
Whew.
Oh, I don't even want to see that. We can wrap it up.
Wow. All right, but before we get into these votes, I do want to make reference. Bella, she's coming in here with a clean sheet, undefeated record here. She crushed it every single time she's on here. But let's get into these.
No, we don't have to.
With the first one, Bella, you crushed the first one.
Really?
Absolutely clean sweep here.
No, baseball.
Absolutely.
Baseball.
Second one, Luke, swept.
Yeah.
Swept.
Yeah.
Coming into the final one, we're 1-1. 1-1 here. It's right down to the wire. Bella, you have won.
No way.
I
That
try
has
to be
biased.
unbiased here, but we do have some Knicks fans in this production.
No,
trust.
I feel that. I don't feel like I.
in our heart, Dan, get over it. In our heart,
we can all agree who the winner
That
is
is
here.
crazy.
I also agree that Luke should have won.
That's wild.
No.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, that.
Hey, we got some bias in the studio. That's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah. Hey, but hey, Dan, it's all right. It's all right. Well, yeah.
It's
hey,
all love.
Hey, it's all at the end of the day, it's all love. But we do have to move things over to our final segment, Immaculate Grid, where me and Sam are going to tackle the upcoming football Immaculate Grid. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Red Fox Report. Alongside Tommy Armstrong, I'm Dan Allback, and today we have Marist sports action from football, men's soccer, women's soccer, and volleyball.
Starting off with football, first-year head coach Mike Willis heads into his first conference game, looking to put one into the win column. Dayton early on leads 7-0, looking to convert a third and long, but it's picked off by James Cratchittville, turning the tides for the Red Foxes. Marist now gets a chance to strike. Marist first and goal off the turnover. Sonny Menino drops back, finds some room to run, and gets into the end zone for a 6, tying the game up 7-7. With 5:42 in the second quarter, Marist down 7 again. Menino throws a dime to his target, Jack Milori, for the score. Finds the perfect window over the defender and ties the game once again. The next possession, Dayton trying to counter. Van Vliet with a touch pass to Drake Brenner, who looks left, turns the corner, puts on the burners, and it's a foot race to the sideline. That'll kickstart Dayton's day as they cruise to a victory, 47-14, led by Van Vliet's 5 touchdowns.
Marist and Fairfield's first MAC conference game for men's soccer in early action here in the 11th minute. The ball's going to deflect off the Fairfield fenders, and it's sophomore Kyle Evans right in the top bins. That's his first collegiate goal, and Marist goes up 1-0. 24th minute here. The ball is going to roll right to the middle for William Pierce, who shoots and scores. It's Pierce's 4th goal in 3 games. He ties it up 1-1. Sliding celebration there. Corner kick in the 39th minute, and senior Juan Pablo Liano jumps and scores to take the lead. 30 seconds remaining in this one, though. Freshman midfielder Caio Cavalette kicks the ball up the field. It's freshman Chris Rahul who is denied, as well as Richard Morrell. Great deflections here from Fairfield. A final attempt by Adam Rustami goes not their way. It's Fairfield triumphant in this one.
Over to women's soccer, as they host Manhattan, anchored by Maddie Catalanello, stellar goalkeeper thus far this season. We'll go to the 9th minute. It's a free kick on the right wing, headered in just over the outstretched hand of Catalanello, and Manhattan strikes first. 2 minutes later, Manhattan on the attack. Coming to a similar spot as the cross, into the box. The ball finds Nicolette Canetta for the tap-in score. Too much space, and Manhattan extends their lead to 2-0. Still in the first half, corner kick, Maddie Feller with the header into the top right corner. It's all Manhattan up 3 in the first half. Go to the 85th minute, Manhattan continuing their parade, sends a corner kick on target. Looks like it's deflected, but deemed a goal. A 4-0 lead goes the rest of the way as Manhattan walks away with a win.
Marist Volleyball and Sean Byron looking for their first win of the year against Canisius. Marist up 24-23 and a block from Isabella Mosquera. It's the second of her game, and a game-high 9 blocks in this one. Marist up 1, though, a chance to put away the set, and it's Tara Miller who gets the kill, her 3rd kill in the match, and they win set 1. Canisius, though, up 7-3. A serve from Kara Zaha lands untouched, and it's their biggest lead of the set for Canisius. Marist trying to mount a comeback late in the second, and again denied. Blocked by Zaha. Canisius wins set 2. An easy 3rd set for Canisius. They're going to win this one 25-19, but late in the 4th, Canisius taking another big lead, 24-13, and sophomore Lauren Hubert, a big kill. They win the set. Marist drops to 0-12 overall and 0-2 in MAC play.
Thank you for tuning in to the Red Fox Report. For Dan Allback, I'm Tommy Armstrong. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's episode of Halftime on the Hudson. It's the Immaculate Grid. Now, let's get right into this here. So, I feel like this is a really gettable Immaculate Grid. Some very, easy teams to work with here. As you can see, our viewers on the screen over here. We got Broncos Giants, Broncos Cowboys, Broncos Bills, Saints Giants, Saints Cowboys, Saints Bills, and then we got 10,000 yards passing in a career with the Giants, Cowboys, and Bills. Sam, I'm going to give the floor to you. What do you got to work with here?
For the Broncos Giants, give me Benny Fowler.
Now that is a great pull.
Famously caught Peyton Manning's last pass.
Famously, wow. Yeah, we're just getting things updated here for our viewers. Benny Fowler, 0.5% right here. So we'll swing things over to me. I feel like I have a lot to work with here. I feel like that I might want to just tackle one of the 10,000-yard career passers. That being said, I'm going to throw a little one out here. I was thinking, of course, Josh Allen is a very easy one to get, but I'm going to go with Tyrod Taylor.
Okay.
Tyrod Taylor, famously the starter in Buffalo for a good while, Super Bowl champ. 5%. What is that picture?
Why does the picture look like that?
Why he look like that?
His looks normal on the screen, but right here, it's just a forehead.
Yeah, no, but looks hilarious. However, 5%, we'll take that around here.
Tyrod Taylor, very underrated starting quarterback.
We absolutely take that around here. All right, Sam.
I'm going to go Giants, 10,000 yards. Get this one out of the way. Let's go Y.A. Tittle. Little throwback here. In the 60s, Y.A. Tittle.
Your ball knowledge knows no bounds, man. No bounds.
What can I say?
What can he say? I feel like that I just need to take care of the final 10,000 career passing yards. Cowboys, they've had a very storied history at quarterback. You got like the likes of Troy Aikman. Of course, you got Dak right now. But I feel like that this might be, a little popular here, but I think I'm gonna go with Tony Romo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, Tony Romo.
Or I am thinking here. Hold on, let's back up our thought process here. I think let's go with Matt Castle.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did that.
Matt Castle's been around for a hot minute, so come on, yeah, guys in the production crew, yeah.
Oh my God.
Come on,
Matt Castle.
who we talking about here? Come on,
Patriots legend Matt Castle.
come on.
Famously never started a game in college. And he does that in the NFL.
All right, but let's get things moving here. We got 5 more spots. We got to get this thing moving.
Saints Giants. I know I'm just going Giants, but Jackrabbit, Janoris. Is he not here? Jenkins.
Jackrabbit.
Jackrabbit.
Wow, they have him as Jackrabbit
Wow.
Jenkins. All right.
6%.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, but
No, neither have I.
no, but Janoris, that was a great pull right there. I think that's a solid pull right there. I'm just gonna take one right off the board. I feel like this is gonna be really easy and really relevant, but again, I want to keep things moving here. Broncos Bills. I feel like that's really easy. I'm gonna go with Von Miller here.
Yeah.
He did get suspended for 4 games
Again.
again. But in the sake of keeping things moving here, Von Miller. Yeah, I know that wasn't great. My ball knowledge, I wish it was a little bit better than Sam's here. I do pride myself as a man of fit. No. But Von Miller, I feel like that was like a walk.
Saints Bills. A little unheard of. Let's go AJ Klein. Again, where is he?
Do you know how to spell?
Yeah.
AJ Klein.
Bills and Saints linebacker that was always linebacker number 3.
Wow. A thought that I had here with that one, you could have gone like Deontay Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you totally could have.
Deontay
But
Hardy.
again, Matt Klein 1%. That's a great pull right there. Great pull. Let's think here. Let us think. You're more than welcome to just jump right in if you have another one that you want to go with. Let's see here. Let us see.
I have 2 very easy,
All right.
good answers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Throw it away. Come on.
All right. First one, let's go DeMarcus Ware.
DeMarcus Ware, Cowboys,
the bane
Broncos.
of my existence as a kid.
Yeah. And hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Come on.
All right,
we both had some pretty bad picks here. I mean, very like I feel like those are like the
High
guys
percentage.
that people these are the ones that people immediately think of. But we got one more left, one guest left. Cowboys Saints. Let's rack our brains here for a minute.
Cooks, Brandon Cooks.
That
famous.
is a very good one, and I feel like maybe not a lot of people, because he did start out with the Saints, then the Pats, and I feel like people, would really think of him with the Rams and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah. So I think we should lock that in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a solid one. Brandon Cooks,
We got him.
203. I want to see this percentage here. 59%. Again, maybe people saw him as a saint. There are people out there with some good ball knowledge, but again, yeah, that's all the time we have for you today. Sam, get over here. I don't bite. That's all the time we have for you today here on Halftime on the Hudson. For Sam McNamara, I'm Jimmy Tsiantoulas. A big round of applause for our production crew. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.